Good morning and welcome back to New York City. There is no other city in the world like New York, so I thought today I would give you some tips for when you visit New York. I'm currently walking on 10th Avenue, just past 15th Street. It is 7:30 a.m. I am a British tourist that has been in New York City for 2 months now, so I want to impart my wisdom on you. So I have 10 tips today for tourists visiting New York City. Then I have a bonus one, which I think is going to upset a lot of people, but what are you going to do? Welcome to New York. So that up there is the High Line, and I walked all the way along it in one of my previous videos, so go and check that out if you want to. One of the most unique parks in the whole city. So New York City is not like any other major city in the world, so you can't just watch what to do in a major city and it's going to apply to New York. Absolutely no. There are some unique rules that only apply to New York City. Currently walking through Chelsea. Chelsea Market is coming up. So tip number one is walk fast or get the out the way. People will tell you to move. People will get mad at you if you walk slow. You have to walk on the right side and you have to walk fast. New Yorkers, they walk fast even when they're not in a rush. This is one of the biggest differences between London and New York City. In London, if you walk slowly, people will get mad at you, but you won't know about it. But here, people will tell you to move. Walk fast or get out the way. Also, in the Highline video, a lot of people like the Beehive building. It's right here. This is it. I love the windows coming out of the building like that. It's so cool. But yeah, you have to walk fast. Even when you're not in a rush, you have to walk fast because you will annoy a lot of people. And I read about this before I came to New York. It's like, is it going to bother people that much? Yes, it is. People get extremely mad about it. Of course, there's a billion tourists in New York City and they don't know these rules. You have to have self-awareness. You have to walk fast or you have to get out the way. I am genuinely curious about how these work. Of course, parking is so hard to find in New York City, so you get these parking garages everywhere. One, they're extremely expensive. You're gonna pay like $800 just to park your car every month. It's ridiculous. But if my car is that one, like, how do they get it down? I have no idea. I've never seen those in action, but there are too many cars in Manhattan. The second tip is walk everywhere. I encourage anybody to walk because you have no idea what you're gonna find along the way. You can walk along this avenue and it's going to be completely different than if you walked along that avenue. It's going to be completely different if you walked along the next avenue. So every single street is different, every avenue is different, every neighborhood is different. So I encourage you to walk and you never know what you're going to find. So these parking garages, again, they have like 2 layers. So if my car is that one, like you have to get it down, but you have to get it like in front of this layer as well. Like how do they get it down? Like I'm genuinely curious. I've never never seen them get a car down. Anyway, you are going to be walking a lot in New York City. It is an extremely walkable city, which is one of the main reasons why I wanted to come here. It's one of the most positive things about the city, but you're going to be walking a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean miles and miles and miles, which I think is a good thing just because, like I said, you never know what you're going to find along the way. Look what I just found. It's a London bus. It says cheeky. Don't know why. Don't ask me why. Oh, I found a friend. It's a good boy. This is just a bonus tip, it's not on the list, but these food carts, hot dogs and breakfast stuff, do not trust them if they don't display the prices. If there's 2 and one of them displays the prices, the other one doesn't, I would go to the one that displays the prices because they're going to charge you whatever they want. But check out these streets. Chelsea is really, really cool. Very expensive area, but very, very nice. And when I say those food carts would charge you whatever they want, if they can guess that you're a tourist, you're definitely going to pay the tourist price. So go to ones that display the prices. Going back to walking, you are going to walk a long way, and 10 blocks is a long way. 10 blocks is a lot more than you think it is. So be prepared to walk a lot, but I encourage you to walk a lot. People are setting up for the day. Love this time of day. Early morning. It is a Wednesday morning and fall has arrived in New York City. I arrived right in the middle of summer and it was so hot every single day. It was kind of miserable, to be honest, but right now it is beautiful. Wearing long sleeves, wearing long pants, I think for the first time since I've been here. Tip number 3 is take the subway, which I know that contradicts tip number 2, which is walk, but don't be scared to take the subway. I watched a video recently about a guy visiting New York. He was from like, I don't know, California or somewhere, and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared to take the subway, and he was like this. He was like this, like sitting on the subway. I was like, it's not that bad. Are there crazy people down there? Yeah, but 99% of people are normal. There are some unspoken rules that you follow on the New York subway. There's that High Line again, just passing by 24th Street. Shall I show you one of these streets? I can show you the cool townhouses. So some of the unspoken rules for the subway is, number one, if there is an empty cart, don't go in there. It is empty for a reason. There's crazy people in there, or it smells really bad, or something bad is happening. So if there's a really, really crowded carriage and an empty carriage, always go to the crowded one because it's empty for a reason. The second one is you have to pay. You have to pay. It costs $2.90 every single trip. Don't jump the barriers. It's not worth the hassle. Don't do it. Even though you're going to see a lot of people, they're going to be jumping the barriers. Don't do it. Especially if you're a tourist, you don't want that kind of trouble. But check out these townhouses. They're so cool. Extremely expensive, but really, really, really cool. New York is weird because you can literally, like, these are probably like $5 million. You can literally walk along this street with these expensive houses. You can go 2 blocks that way and it's going to be horrible. It's going to be miserable. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be loud. So it's very, very strange. But I can tell you about these stoops. The main reason for these stoops in New York City is because when people used to ride around on horse and carriages, there used to be a lot of stuff in the street from the horses. So these stoops were to literally lift people's houses off the street. That's what they were for. Anyway, so yeah, back to the subway. It is going to cost you $2.90 every single time you ride, regardless of how far you go. So if you go 1 stop, it's going to cost you $2.90. If you go 20 stops, it's going to cost you $2.90. This is another big difference between London and New York, because if you ride the London Underground, you pay depending on how far you go. So if you go 1 stop, it's going to be cheaper than if you go 20 stops. So here it's $2.90 regardless of how far you go. You're going to see a lot of people jumping the barriers. Don't do that. Just pay the fare, just sit down and enjoy the ride. It's weird because some of the carriages, like, they're brand new, they're really nice, but the other ones, like, they're so old, and yeah, you get the picture. But yeah, I encourage you to ride the subway. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I think one of the main things to remember about the subway pretty much goes for the city as well is it's better to be around people. So if there's an empty street and a crowded street, I always walk on the crowded street, just because, like I said, 99% of the people there are going to be normal, and you want to be around normal people. So I feel a lot safer when the street is busy rather than empty. All right, let's walk along 9th Avenue and I can show you our first tourist attraction. Right there is the Empire State Building. It's right there. The next tip when you visit New York City is number 4. The 4th tip is don't plan too much. There are 1,000,001 things to do in New York City. There's food, there's places to see, different neighborhoods, take the train, the river, like, there's so much, Central Park, like, there's so much to do. Don't plan too much. Yes, you're gonna wanna do everything, but if you're here for 5 days, 7 days, if you're here for a weekend, don't pack every single second of your day with activities. You need some time to just walk. You need some time to relax, because you're gonna be walking a lot and there is too much to do. Like, it's simple as that. There's too much to do. I've been here for 2 months and there's still things that I haven't done just because there is way too much. I remember the first time I saw a yellow school bus, I was like, oh my gosh, they're real. I only see them in the movies. So you have to plan and you have to prioritize what you want to do. You are definitely gonna miss out on some things, but you're gonna make sure that you do what you wanna do. If you're gonna need a ticket for something, then book it as early as possible, because things get very busy, of course, and many people wanna go and see the tourist stuff. For example, I'm not sure if you can see it, but way up there, there's a platform up there called The Edge, and you need a ticket to get up there. So if you really want to do that, then book your ticket very early, because you might miss out to go up there. That is a cool car. Another strange thing is you could be in a super duper crowded area and you're still gonna find some empty streets. But if you want more empty streets, you have to wake up early. That is my next tip. Wake up early. I've made so many videos at 5 a.m, 6 a.m. There are no people in the streets. This is the only time you're ever gonna see empty streets in New York City, because 8 a.m, 9 a.m, that's when people start going to work. That's when the tourists wake up. That's when the kids go to school, and the streets are gonna be crazy. It is so cool. It is so unique to wake up early and see the streets with no people, because you never ever get to see that during the day. So I highly recommend, at least one day of your vacation, wake up early and get out there and see the streets with no people. That's a cool building. When I see buildings like this, I always think about when they were first built, like who lived there and stuff like that. See the tip of the Empire State Building up there? Well, I have to show you this. This is really, really strange and definitely something that we don't have in the UK. Like these cars are parked in the middle of the street. Like cars will drive here, cars are parked there, cars are parked here. This is so weird. And of course you have the bike path. Don't walk in the bike path. But they have cars parked in the middle of the street. Too many cars in Manhattan, way too many. 8th Avenue, 29th Street. $1.50 pizza slices. Here's a bonus tip for you. The only cheap food that you can get in New York City is pizza slices, and go to Chinatown. Absolutely delicious food. So cheap compared to the rest of the city. New York is extremely expensive. Crazy prices everywhere. Security is tough. Check out this ATM. Would you trust it? I would absolutely not trust that ATM. No way. All right, welcome to Penn Station. You see what I mean? There is no people on these steps, but a lot of people like to come here, sit on the steps, eat their lunch, people watch, and then across the street there is Madison Square Gardens. And yesterday or last weekend, Lady Gaga was here. Lady Gaga, Katy Perry's been here, so there's a lot of concerts that happen in Madison Square Gardens. But yeah, Penn Station. Oh my gosh, that bird has another bird. Damn Daniel. Dog eat dog out here in New York. All right, let's keep walking. The weather has changed dramatically. It literally changed in like a week because it was so hot, like I said, but now it's cooled down a lot. I did not prepare for the cooler weather. I have not many warm clothes. I definitely forget to look around sometimes and realize that I'm in New York City. It is an incredible place. Good and bad, of course, good and bad. And if you want to see some crazy people, come to Penn Station. Guaranteed crazy people. Shall I take you inside Penn Station? Nothing too exciting, to be honest. Grand Central is a lot better. But you can take the Amtrak to like Philadelphia and Boston. You can take the Long Island Railroad. You can take the New Jersey, what do they call it? New Jersey Transit or something? Yeah, you can go to New Jersey. So there's a lot of places you can get to from here. And it's warm in here, jeez. There you go, there is Penn Station. Like I said, not as cool as Grand Central, but it's a very important station. One of the things that I find really strange about American train stations is, well, first of all, they call them tracks instead of platforms, like we call them platforms, but they announce the track like so last minute, like they literally wait until like 5 or 10 minutes before, and then people just run to the platform or run to the track just because they don't announce it until super late. But it's a cool station. See, I'll give you the perfect example. That food cart over there does not display prices, but this guy does. You see? It costs $1.50 for a small coffee. Get a bagel with cream cheese, $2.50. Donuts, $2. I trust that guy. Don't trust the guy across the street. Here is the New Yorker Hotel. I stayed there one night, like 5 years ago, because I had a very early flight and I had to take the train from Penn Station just over there. So I stayed at the New Yorker. Streets are getting so much busier now than when I woke up. I woke up at 6, there was nobody around, but the streets fill up very, very, very quickly. New York is so loud. There's always sirens, there's always beeping. It is so loud. It's not a tip, but just something I don't understand is these souvenir shops, the gift shops, they all sell exactly the same crap, but there are a million of them. Every single street, every single corner will have a souvenir shop that sells exactly the same stuff. My next tip is carry some cash. It just started raining. But yeah, make sure you have some cash. Of course, you can use your debit card, credit card at most places, but some places won't take it, like the smaller carts, the fruit carts, and some of the vendors won't take your card. You need to have cash. And number 2, I don't trust them with my card. So make sure you have some cash. Just a few dollars to get some fruit, just a few dollars to get a hot dog or something. So I do think that comparing London and New York again, I think London is a lot more advanced with the cashless payments and the contactless payment. I think there's a lot more options for contactless payment in London rather than in New York. So make sure you have some cash. 7th Avenue. These are some bad New Yorkers. We're taking up the whole sidewalk. You gotta stick to one side. Seventh Avenue, 38th Street. The rain is coming down. It wasn't supposed to rain until 11. $1.50 slices. The next tip, and this is something that a lot of people don't think about and a lot of people should know about it, is you're going to struggle a lot to find public bathrooms. And this is such a shame, but the reason is because people will ruin it, people will trash it, and people don't take care of it. That's why you can't find public bathrooms. And this is a big deal for a lot of people, just because people need bathrooms, especially when they're traveling, they're outside for a long time, they're outside all day. I don't know where I can suggest to you to find a bathroom. The library, of course, but if you're not near the library, because there's not really like shopping malls. Like shopping malls are really my go-to places to go to a public bathroom, and they don't really have them here. So yeah, public bathrooms, you're gonna find it very difficult to find one. I was literally gonna grab my umbrella as well, and I didn't at the last minute. I thought I'd be home by 11, but nope, rain is pouring. And the rain just reminded me that I got recognized yesterday. Hello Kelly and Charles, you guys made my day when you came up to me and spoke to me on 5th Avenue. They said they like my videos and my New York videos helped them plan their New York trip. So thank you Kelly, thank you Charles. And people have asked me before, have I ever been recognized? This is only the 3rd time that I've ever been recognized. One was on a cruise ship, one was in London, and one was yesterday on 5th Avenue, New York City. Wow, thank you Kelly and Charles. I hope your vacation has been amazing. I was gonna say I hope the weather's been better, because the day that I met you, it was pouring down. It was the day that I made that rainy morning video, but it hasn't been raining since then, apart from right now. So thanks Kelly and Charles for bringing the weather with you. Thank you. By the way, local cuisine, delicious. Okay, I have to show you this. Remember before I said about the souvenir stores? So there's one here selling exactly the same stuff, I Heart NY and all that kind of stuff. So one souvenir store, then we have a hotel, and then we have another souvenir store selling exactly the same stuff. I don't know why they don't just work together, I don't know. And then there is a boutique, and then they have another souvenir store. Literally every other store is a souvenir store that sells exactly the same crap. I have no idea how they stay in business, I don't know. Wouldn't you just make it like $1 cheaper than the guy down the street, and then you would have all the business, right? Man, it is miserable this morning. Damn Daniel. The weather has changed so quickly. Here's a bonus tip. You're gonna see these guys all over the street selling the tickets for the hop on hop off bus. Buy them online, you're gonna save so much money. Don't buy them from guys on the street. So Times Square is on Broadway and 45th Street. We are not gonna see Times Square in all its glory just because it is empty, it is pouring with rain. Welcome to the world famous Times Square, New York City. My next tip is don't get excited to come to Times Square. Of course you're gonna visit one time and that's it. It is a one and done kind of place. You're gonna come here one day, you're gonna take a picture, you're gonna leave, and you're never gonna come back. And that is what I suggest. There is nothing special about Times Square. There's nothing fun about Times Square. Of course there's nobody here right now, but every single evening there's gonna be a billion people here. And I think that Times Square is the #1 tourist trap in the whole world. Not even just America, in the whole world. And if you want to get scammed, come to Times Square. There are so many people scamming tourists in Times Square, and the police seem to do nothing about it. Yes, there are billboards, it's cool, it does look cool at night, but there is nothing special about Times Square. There's nothing fun about Times Square. Like I said, it's a one and done. Come, take a picture, leave, never come back. My biggest tip about Times Square is you're gonna see characters here, Mickey Mouse and Spider-Man and Super Mario. Do not take any pictures with these characters. Don't do it. Number one, they're gonna be extremely aggressive. Number two, they're gonna ask you for so much money. Do you think they're gonna ask for like $5, $10? No, they're gonna ask you for $50. So for example, they're literally gonna grab tourists, they're gonna say, let's take a picture. If you take a picture, their friends are gonna jump in, so there's gonna be like 5 characters, they're all gonna ask for like $50 each. Don't take any pictures with these characters. Like I said, it's unbelievable that the police just stand there and watch tourists be scammed by these people. I respect these people for working, but you can do it in an honest way. You don't need to scam people. So yeah, Times Square, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I'm sorry to ruin your party, but don't get excited to come here. Nothing special about Times Square, nothing at all. Funny story about Times Square, actually, like 2 weeks ago, I was walking across the Brooklyn Bridge and these Korean girls asked me to take their picture. So we got talking and like they just arrived here and it's their first time in America, first time in New York. They was like, what should we do? Like we only have like 2 days, like what should we do? I was like, have you been to Times Square? They was like, no. So we literally took the train together from Brooklyn to Times Square and I walked them here because of course they'd never been here before, and they was like, is this it? I was like, yeah. They was like, it's so small. It is definitely true. Like, let's literally it, like that's Times Square. They were so underwhelmed by it, like they were like, oh, I thought it was gonna be so cool, but this is literally not what I expected. So it is pouring down. Next tip is winter versus summer. You need to know what's going on when you visit New York City, just because I can't think of a city that is so different in the winter and the summer than New York. Just because in the summer, there's gonna be so many free concerts, there's gonna be free movies in the park. Of course, it's gonna be extremely hot. It's gonna be very different than the winter. And in the winter, people come here, they wanna see the Christmas decorations, they wanna go ice skating, they wanna see the snow. So you need to choose when you're gonna visit New York, just because you're gonna have completely different experiences. Like, forget about the weather. Yes, it's very hot in the summer, very cold in the winter, but the stuff going on as well, and the city as in general is gonna be very different in the winter and summer. So you need to plan when is the best time for you to visit New York, because I've been here 4 times now. This is my 4th visit to New York. 3 times in the winter, and this is the first time I've been here in the summer. It is so different. Man, I'm the only crazy person just standing in the rain. There's so many people getting shelter. Let's walk somewhere. Wherever you walk in New York, you're gonna find something interesting, so let's walk. Let's say goodbye to Times Square. Honestly, if I never come here ever again to Times Square, I'd be okay with it. It is nothing special. Tip number 10 is related to Times Square. That is, get out of the tourist areas. Go and see the neighborhoods. Go to Brooklyn. Recently I went to Astoria. That place is nice. Go to New Jersey. Like, there's so much more to see in New York rather than Times Square, Central Park. Like, yes, these places are cool, but there's so much more to see. Go out there and see the real place. See people living their lives. See people's houses and just see the real place. Get out of the tourist areas. USA, USA, USA. I need to head home, take another shower because I am soaked. So that was my top 10 tips for tourists visiting New York City. I have one more, but before I say it, I just want to remind people that this is my video that you clicked on. I'm just talking about my own opinions and my own experiences. If you don't agree with me, it's okay. Life goes on. Anyway, my final tip for New York City is be prepared to be disappointed. I don't believe that New York City is that special. It's a cool city, it's unique, but it blows my mind that people think that New York City is the #1 best city in the world. Absolutely not. Not even close. If you believe that, then you need to travel more, because there are so many negatives about New York City. There are so many negatives about every city in the world, but I do believe that the negatives outweigh the positives. That's why I don't believe that New York City is worth the hype. You should definitely visit here. Like I said, it's an extremely unique place. There's no other place like New York City in the world, so definitely visit here, but it is not what you think. Because when you see these videos, you only see the good stuff. You don't know that right now, in this exact spot, it absolutely stinks. You don't know that every single street stinks. You don't know that the streets are extremely dirty. You don't know that there's a million homeless people everywhere. You don't know that it is extremely, extremely expensive, more than you realize. You don't realize that people in New York, they are not friendly. And when I say people in New York, I'm not talking about New Yorkers, because every single time that I say that people in New York, they are not friendly, people say, well, New Yorkers are friendly. I'm talking about people in New York. So maybe they're from New York, maybe they're not, but people here, they're not that friendly. And I just don't believe that it's that special, to be honest. Like I said, I'm so happy and glad. I'm so thankful that I get to visit here. I've tried my best to experience the real city. I've tried my best to see everything that I want to see, but I don't believe that it's worth the hype. Am I going to come to New York City again in my life? Yeah, probably. Just because, like I said, it's very, very unique. No other city in the world like New York. You should definitely visit here. I'm not telling you not to visit, but I'm just saying that be prepared to be disappointed, because another city I think about is Paris. Like, a lot of people have Paris as like their bucket list. Like, I really, really, really want to visit Paris one day in my life. And then they go there and the streets are dirty. the people, like, it's a dangerous place, the people are not friendly, and it's expensive. Like all the same stuff that I said about New York pretty much goes to Paris as well. So I do believe that Paris is the #1 overrated city in Europe, and I do believe that New York City is overrated. And people are not gonna like this, but you have to understand my reasoning. There are many positives, but there's also many negatives, and I do believe that there's more negatives than positives. If you watch my videos for a long time, you know that I'm very honest, and I try and show you the good stuff and the bad stuff, because I think it's very important that people talk about the bad stuff, and a lot of people won't. Like, people will come here and they say, oh my god, the best city in the world. Absolutely not. Like, it is mind-blowing that you think that New York City is the best city in the world. No way, no way, no way. You need to travel more. Anyway, that's all I have to say. That is my top 10 tips plus an extra one about visiting New York City. Definitely come here and enjoy it. You're gonna love it. It is an incredible place. That's a good thing and a bad thing, but I've been here for a long time, and I've liked it, I've disliked it, and my time is not over yet. I'm gonna be here for a little while longer. I have some other trips planned, and that's just my opinion, to be honest. If you don't like it, it's all right. It's okay. Life goes on. Don't get mad about it. Just a guy on YouTube. It's okay. I'm not that important. I'm not that special. Anyway, I need to go home and take a shower because I am soaked. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.